This is how I went from being over 150K in debt, court orders for failure to pay rent, to being over a $2 million med spa business owner in 18 months. My name is Tiffany, and if I can do it, you can too. I'm a nurse injector that make women feel more confident, but let's start from the beginning. Let's take it back to when I was a new grad in the ICU. I did not even want to go to nursing school. I always wanted to go to business school. But as most children's Caribbean parents, we want to please our parents. So I battled with this for a while. Follow my dreams and go to business school, or listen to my mom tell me I'm not going to have a job at the end of it all. I need to do something safe and secure. I need to do what I have to do in order to do what I want to do. Went to nursing school, graduated, and said, okay, what's the best career option within being an RN? At the time, it was becoming a nurse anesthetist. So I needed to go to the ICU, get my year of experience, and go back to school. That was the plan. I got to the bedside and I was like, this is not for me. I hated it. I dreaded going to work. It just wasn't what I envisioned for my life. So I started looking at other ways that I could make money and become the woman that I wanted to become. I didn't know exactly what field I wanted to get into, but I always knew I wanted to do business. I had a knack for it, loved numbers, wanted to be extremely successful. I saw working for someone as a cap to my income, and I never wanted to put myself in a position where my income was capped. So I started different odds and ends. I tried selling clothes. That didn't work out very well. I tried selling hair extensions. That didn't work. And then I did lash extensions. My boyfriend at the time gifted me the course. He asked me what I wanted for Christmas, and I was like, I think I want to take a class. So he paid for it. I jumped on a bus to New York, and I took my lash extension course. Now, mind you, when I was doing lash, when I was in my class, I was the worst student in the class. The instructor did not even look at me. She was like, oh, she's not going to get it. She paid me no mind. But because I had tried several things before, I was like, no, I gathered this money. I've been investing in finding the right person. This is going to work for me. So I went home and I did everything to learn. I practiced on my sisters. I decided, okay, my hands were shaking. How do I stop my hands from shaking? Stop drinking coffee. I just isolated every issue I was having in order to make this work. Finally, I got the hang of it. I opened my own lash business and became a six-figure earner, which was like a pretty big deal for me at the time. You know, I was 24 or 23, 24, making six figures. I felt like, okay, I'm on top of the world. I talk mash-ish. You know, in a sense, I was doing it. I was able to create my own schedule, live life on my terms in a sense. It really felt good. At the time, my income was capped because I was scared to put myself on social media and put my work out there. So even though I was really good at what I did, and I did branch out into permanent makeup, I never showcased my work for fear of being seen. Years passed, I had stopped nursing, and I literally was focusing on my business. I made a decent life from it. Then COVID came, I had my son. I wanted to use my nursing license again. I didn't feel like I went to school, I'm still paying debt on this loan for me to just throw it away. I also always wanted to get into the med spa industry, but if you don't know or you don't know, it's hard to get into. It's very clannish and cliquish. I applied for so many jobs, denial after denial. I would shadow people. They'd be like, oh yeah, I'm interested in having you. It just never worked out. So I'm the type of person like, well, I'm gonna make a way. So in 2022, I went on this journey to open my own med spa. I'm like, okay, I'm already a lash tech. I own a permanent makeup business. I can do it. I know business. It can't be that hard. So I partnered with a friend and we proceeded to open a med spa. We had gathered up some money and we finally said, hey, let's go for it. Now, opening a lash business or permanent makeup business and opening a med spa, two totally different beasts. It's a lot of money to open a med spa. We're talking hundreds of thousands of dollars just to get started. But in my head, when I opened my lash business, I just needed like a couple $1,000s, a bed and a room, and that generated six figures. Also, the mindset of going from a six-figure earner to a seven-figure earner is completely different. 1% of business owners are able to scale their business to $1 million. So let's keep that in account when we say it has to be totally different. But I didn't know that. I just knew that I had an idea of how to run a business. So I'm gonna figure it out. It was a journey to figure it out. Everything that could go wrong went wrong. We took out loans summing over 150,000. We ran through that money so fast. We're talking about lawyers, renovation, buying a laser hair removal machine. We just purchased everything that we thought would run a business, and we ran out of money. Not only did we run out of money, the space that we leased wasn't zoned properly, so we couldn't use it. We had this space, we had this debt, couldn't use the space. So what were we to do? I was a single mother raising my son at the time. I had just moved into a new neighborhood saying I'm going to start my life over. I took a leap of faith just saying this is going to work for me. I didn't have any other choice than to make it work. The debt that I had incurred wasn't going to be able to be paid off with my lash tech salary, to be honest. So even though I wanted to quit at times, it just was no way back. I just had to force forward, focus on my goal, focus on where I was going. So what did I have to do? I had a laser machine. I had a lash studio that was about 500-600 square feet. I had a back room in the back, and I said, hey, we're gonna have to move this laser machine to the back room of my lash studio and make this work. We're gonna have to build this business here. Was I embarrassed to do so? Yes, because I envisioned this business to be grand. I wanted the marketing to be right. Like every beginning, you wanted your marketing to be right, your website to be right, your space to be beautiful. That's what I saw for my business. However, that was given to me at the time, and I had to make it work. It's not like I wanted to be visible on social media. If I wanted to make money, this was the only option that I had. Forget being scared of being seen. Forget not wanting to sell my product. I had to show up. I didn't have a following. I thought that when I started this business, a lot of my lash customers would convert to being laser customers. Is it possible? Yes. But for me, my clientele were two different people. So I had to market to a whole new set of people. I had thousands of people in a database and only a few converted. It was also after COVID. So monetary wise, a lot of people didn't have money to spend on those services, or the clients that I serviced didn't have the money to support my new venture. But I got in my stories and I sold. I didn't even know that I could sell like that. That's how I started selling initially. I noticed that, about 7 out of 10 of the times when I got on social media, somebody showed interest, somebody wanted my service, and they would buy. Probably like after a month or so of doing this, one of my clients bought a full body laser package for over $5,000, and I was like, what? Like, all I have to do is get up and show up on Instagram, and I made $5K. It was like crazy to me. It was such a big deal, and I'm like, Tiffany, you just have to keep forging. I was scared as hell. How would people look at me? What would they think? How do I come across? But I just had to get out of my way. I had a child to feed. I had racked up over 150K in debt. I had maxed out my credit cards, and I needed to pay it off. How was I going to do so? I had yellow notices on my door to go to court. I had taken all my money and invested in my vision. You can say, oh, you can just always go back to work at the hospital. I wasn't going back there. I saw what I envisioned for my life, and I knew it was possible with hard work. If others could do it, I didn't see any reason why I couldn't. So during that time with my limited budget, I was playing all roles. I was speaking to lawyers. I was learning marketing. I was learning bookkeeping. My mind had to expand. How I did business had to expand. I couldn't be last minute with things. I couldn't be fearful of what I'm doing. I had to pay attention to detail. I had to track my expenses. There were so many more things that I had to account for. So when I say that running a 100K business is different than running $1 million business, a lot of that discomfort or anxiety came from shifting my mindset. When you're trying to take a leap of faith, you need to think about how you would operate as the person you want to become. What would you do if you were $1 million business owner, a $2 million business owner, a $10 million business owner? You need to become her, or what you think he or she may look like. Someone who ran $1 million business to me didn't look like being scared of showing up. Started generating income. 5K went to 10K months, went to a 20K month, went to a 30K month. As my finances grew, I reinvested all of that into the business. But I was smart with what I was doing. When I started making money, right back into the business, right back into who can I get to help me better myself? Who do I need to help? Who do I hire first? How do I move forward? It was definitely a character building experience And I think that is what comes from growing a business, not just the revenue that you're making, it's the person that you become. I always say that it's nice that I'm able to live better and afford certain things, but my mindset has shifted so much that I know that I can survive anywhere in any business. I can replicate these skill sets. That's what's most valuable to me, who I've become doing this, the mother that I've become. My son can see me achieve what my family can be proud of, not necessarily the monetary gains, because trust me, there's easier ways to make money. So starting in about January or February of 2024, I really started seeing an increase in my business revenue. I found people that worked for my business. I had tried out different ads group, I had tried different tactics of marketing, and I was getting a grounding of, okay, what is working for me? What is elevating me? I thought my business was going to be heavily focused on laser hair removal. Then I realized quickly that people wanted filler and Botox. I took my rent money, and it was a risky move, but I figured, hey, it's the winter time, I'm not gonna get kicked out. So I asked one of my last checks, hey, do you mind if I pay you late? I jumped on a plane and I went to London because that was the technique that I wanted to learn. So I really started seeing a boom in my numbers in about January or February of 2024. I found my ads guy, my skill set was getting better. I was getting more traction on social media. I started my ads at just like $10 a day, and we scaled it. My marketing, I had more pictures with the lips and other work that I did as I improved, and I literally just kept putting in the work and improving day by day. Lost friends in the process. I've lost people around me, but I've gained so much more. The people that I've been exposed to, the people that God has put in my life, I'm very grateful for, because they see my goal and they see my vision. You have to be around people who see what you're trying to do and want to be a part of that. You know, sometimes you have to let go of things to let in what is right for you. I had to let go of a lot of things in order to grow. I also had to let go of what I thought my business would look like and work with what I have. When you can do the best with what you have, that's when you will receive more. Within 7 months, I was able to scale my filler aspect, the filler portion of my business, from 0 to 100K. We were counting down the day, and I was like, okay, I need one more person to hit this 100K goal. And when I did it, I literally busted out crying, because it was like, wow, I did it. I did it in the size of a bedroom. I did it without a website. I did it with a small following. I literally did it. I set a goal and I was able to achieve it with my team. And that was like a huge momentum for me. And I don't even think that any other milestone that I've set has been important as that one. Like, that was my, okay, I need to get to 100K. That meant a lot for me. All the others, it's like, okay, they're cool. But I think just being able to do that for myself, it was like, that was like my Olympics. That was a huge moment in my career. You know, I envisioned it for myself. Obviously, that's why I was able to do it, but it just seemed like something that was so hard to do. Now I look back at it, just by having the right attitude, having certain systems in place, and working towards your goal, anything is possible. When I hit my first million, about 13 months to hit $1 million. And then I'm able to shorten the time that I'm able to hit my goal. So I was able to hit $1 million in 8 months. You have to believe in a goal and go for it. Don't limit yourself. It's all gonna feel crazy to you. It's all gonna be uncomfortable. So just be focused, devise a plan. You'll learn along the way. I'm a firm believer that God puts people in your lives along the way to help you get to your destination. That's how I went from being over 150K in debt to running a multi-million-dollar med spa. The next step for me is going into the online space and launching my courses that will be helpful for other women, especially who don't have any idea where to start, don't have that motivation or that community, and don't necessarily know where they're going, because I know what it feels like not to know what you're doing. You know, I've made so many mistakes along the way, just trial and error, because I didn't have a guide. I know what it feels like, and if I can assist, you know, women in any way, help change their circumstance, help change their life, that would mean the world to me. So stay tuned, I'll take you along my journey. This is new for me. This is like new waters, new territories, but I'm excited about it. I feel like the impact is going to be great. Guys will learn a lot. So check out the description so you can learn more from me. Be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.